This week has been an amazing week as the market presented us with different opportunities, some of which were winners and some were losers. Do not forget that's how the trading game goes. In today's outlook, we'll be looking at the DXY, GBPUSD, EURUSD, we'll be looking at the GBPCHF, we'll also be looking at the crude oil and Bitcoin. And let's see what or which possible opportunity we could be looking forward to seeing in the market in the new coming week. Before I start, I would like to remind you to remember to subscribe, turn on push notifications, and also like this video so that you can get notified anytime we upload videos like this one. Starting up in our video, we'll be looking at the DXY. The DXY, as you can see, we eventually have another bullish week close. You can see we closed with this week bullish, and that's going to leave us with 4 consecutive bullish week. And many of us are still waiting to see when we can start seeing the dollar drop into this level of weekly demand before we probably hope to see a continuation to the upside, or probably we could possibly drop into this zone and then price continue to the downside. But for now, we'll be sticking with the data we have in our hand, which is the fact that the dollar is very, very, very bullish at the moment. On the weekly time frame, what can we see? We can see price eventually close bullish this week, and we will be eventually what we are still waiting for when price start getting that pullback. We've been waiting since for the past couple of 2-3 weeks to see price pull back because we are looking for an opportunity to continue to the upside with the dollar. Going to the daily time frame, what can we see? It's clear for us, it's clear on the daily time frame that we see this huge impulse to the upside. We've seen price created this base right here, and right now we thought on Friday was going to be the proper continuation to pull back into this base before we push to the upside. But we saw that a 4-hour level right here was able to hold price. This 4-hour demand zone was able to hold price, and you can see that we finally saw price push into the demand, and then we had our shift right here. So technically we'll be waiting to see if price is going to take out this previous resistance or high and continue towards the upside. So for now, I'm clearly bullish on the dollar until the dollar eventually shows something different. It's possible for us to open the week and we eventually see price pulling back into this daily base and then shifting, as we'll be expecting price to continue its strength to the upside, just as we have seen in previous weeks. So basically on the dollar, I am bullish. Going to the euro, if I'm bullish on the dollar, obviously I'll be bearish on the euro. But one thing I want us to notice is you can see this level of demand is still very much in play. This very level of demand is very much in play. Price came weak, took the liquidity below, and we are back inside of that zone. Going to the daily time frame, what can we see? You can likewise see that we have something similar to what the DXY, where we have this supply zone or resistance level. I like calling it base right here, and you can see price pushed into that base or supply zone, and we had a reaction of it on Friday. Presently, I would like to state that I have a limit order on the euro for a sell trade, and I'm going to show you that sell trade. Now, going to the 4-hour clearly, what can we see? We can see that price, if we had this high, we created this low, we push in, and then we created this low, and now we are looking at this 4-hour level of resistance to hold or take price to the downside furthermore. But presently, as we can clearly see, our price has eventually tapped into that 4-hour supply zone, and you can see clearly we have a shift here that aligns with the 4-hour time frame. It is normal that I'm expecting price to pull back a little bit in the early hours of on Monday and continue to the downside, but that's not to undermine the fact that we can see price eventually pull and take out this low, and then we'll be having a new low created. Also, it's possible for price to push back into the highs and even push further into that daily level of supply or daily base that we have around this area. quickly, before I move forward, let me quickly show you the setup. I already have a limit set on the Euro USD. Now you can clearly see that this was the 4-hour level of resistance or level of supply that I was talking about, and you can see price has eventually tapped clearly into that zone. We had a little sweep right here of this previous high before we had our shift. Our shift happened right here, but I'm happy that we had double shift of this zone. The reason why I'm happy we had a clear shift of this zone is because when you see after we had this impulse, we had price slowly correcting, and then we had this high, we had this low, then we had this high before we went for the full shift. But if the price only took out this before it pulls back, I won't really like that. But presently I like what I see, the reason being that we've taken all of this zone out, and now it clearly shows that all we need to wait for is a pullback into our entry point, and then see if we can get a 1:3 of this trade. So that is the sell trade I have on the Euro USD. Let's go to our next pair, GBP USD. Looking at GBP USD, starting with the weekly time frame, what do we have? It is clear for us to state that we are finally taking out this weekly demand zone right here, as you can see, price has clearly closed below this previous low that we had right here. So price has taken out this low, and it's normal for us to say we've taken out this level of demand right here. Now it is normal for me to expect price to be drawn into this weekly level of demand, which is right below right here, before we eventually look to see if price is going to continue its push to the downside, or price could literally do something like this. Price could literally, I'm not saying that's what price will do, price could literally pull back to this neckline right here, and then it's possible for us to see price do something like this, tap into this weekly zone, and tap into this weekly zone, then we get a shift, a lower time frame shift inside of this weekly supply, and then we continue to the downside, coming to take out this previous low, because whether I believe it or not, there's liquidity resting below these lows that are right here before we get into this deep level of demand down here. But for now, we are not paying attention to that. We are only paying attention to the price action right now, which is we looking at how price would be able to make its way into this weekly level of demand, and then we see what possible reaction follow after. Let's go to the daily time frame to see a better picture of what we have. On the daily time frame, you can clearly see that we had price drop, and we had price move into this level of supply right here, which was followed up by a reaction to the downside. Also, you can clearly see that we had this level right here of supply. Some people could draw it like this, and now you can see when price tapped into it, price is rejecting again on Friday. Now it's possible that price could open on Monday and we see a deeper push into the supply zone before we eventually see the real sell happening, although I'm already positioned for a sell on GBPUSD. Also, I took a sell on GBPUSD last week, or should I say, yeah, we are still in the week this week, which was on Thursday, and that that trade took me out for a loss, and that was the only trade I took on GBPUSD. But I'm still looking to selling GBPUSD. Now on the 4-hour, what do we had? We had this push to the upside, and then we had price drop to this point. We had this, and then we are back right here. Now this presently, what we are paying attention to is this 4-hourly level of this 4-hourly level of supply. Now you can see this, I think I took my sell around this area. When I go to the 1-hour time frame, you see, and then price took me out before we started seeing this downside. Now what I'm looking at right now is for price to probably take out this previous low, and then we get a pushback before we continue downward. That is not to say that price could open on Monday and we continue seeing push to the upside. Now let's go to the 1 hour so that we can clearly see the setup I'm looking at for GBPUSD. Now on GBPUSD, this was a trade I took that eventually took us out for a loss on I took this trade on Thursday, yeah, on Friday, right? No. I took this trade on Thursday, somewhere around here. But bottom line, I took a stop loss on it. So clearly, what am I looking at? I'm looking for price to pull back into this entry point and continue to the downside. Although, what I would really like to see is for price to take out this low and this low before it pulls back into my entry, and then we continue to the downside. If I see price do that, if price takes out this low and takes out this low alongside also, what I will just do is my target, I'm going to increase it and place my TP somewhere around this low right here. So I'm not going to place it below the previous 4-hour low that is resting right there. I'm going to put it before the previous 4-hour low, and that's going to increase the target, because right now I have a 1:3 target. But if price does what I just said, I'm going to increase my target because it gives me a little more confidence on that trade. With that already being said, our next pair is GBPCHF. Now on GBPCHF, the weekly time frame is still in a mess, so I'm not going to waste time talking about the weekly time frame as we are still in that neckline. Now the daily time frame is basically not attractive. I tried buying this twice this week. I tried taking a buy on GBPCHF 2 times this week, and I was stopped out twice. Yeah, I know I said I was not going to be taking any action on GBPCHF until it gives a clear direction, but at the end of the day, hey, when markets eventually give you opportunity, you end up wanting to take it. But right now, what I'm just paying attention is this level of demand right inside the range. Now, I was hoping that after price took me out around here for the buy I took, I was hoping that price was going to continue to the upside, but you can clearly see that price didn't do that. Price has been trying to push to the upside. But right now, I am not interested in the pound until I see price take out either this low or we take out this high right here. Because now what we can clearly see here is we had this impulse to the upside, then we had a correction back down here, and now if we don't get a continuous push or a signal that we are going to go after this high, I am not interested. I would rather wait for price to eventually take out this low, and then I will know that okay, price is continuing to the downside and I'll look for opportunity to sell. And if we end up taking out this high, I would know that okay, we already have a internal 4-hour time frame shift. That's why I'm not paying attention to the 1-hour time frame. I want to see a 4-hour internal shift right here, or a clear of this previous 4-hour low to the downside, showing me sales. That's for down here. I'll be looking for opportunity to sell if we take out this low, while I'll be looking for opportunity to buy right here if we take out this high right here. So basically that's all I'm doing on CHF, because CHF is getting a little bit difficult to trade these days, and I feel it's because we are in a range and it's best I apply wisdom in trading the CHF. So that's that on the CHF. Let's go to crude oil. Crude oil was good this week. Genuinely speaking, crude oil was good this week. I only messed up yesterday because I was supposed to be buying crude oil, but for certain reason I ended up selling crude oil, and I took one loss on crude oil, and I was able to capitalize on 3 opportunities. I had 2 winning trades and I took one loss on crude oil, which could have been prevented. That loss could have been prevented. But hey, at the end of the day, every one of us make mistakes. I know nobody wants to claim they make mistakes, but I do. My loss yesterday was my fault. I was supposed to be buying. I wanted to buy. I don't know why I switched my buyers to sell it. But that's along the side. So on the daily time frame, you can see we are still talking about this level of what, of supply right here, which I said we should be careful about. So this week I'll be paying attention to this level of supply. This week I'll be paying close attention to this level of supply. If I see any reaction, especially on the 1-hour time frame, if I see a shift on the 1-hour time frame, trust me, I'll be selling the crude oil this week. But whatever happens, I'm just going to be making sure I'm very careful inside of this daily zone, so that I don't get tricked into continuous buying while price has already shifted bearish. So I don't want to. I know I'm capitalizing on that because it has happened to me right here before. It has happened to me also right here before, and those 2 times I paid dearly for it. So I definitely I'm trying to make sure my mind is quite open, and I'm very aware of that too. But going to what we should expect for the week, presently I'm not going to be doing anything on crude oil until price eventually take out this high or come and take out this this swing low right here. Although I'm favoring the this high to be taken, as you can see we are closer to it, because if we don't take it, it obviously means there's probability we'll be coming after these lows. But I would favor this high to be taken because I want to see price tap into this zone. If by any chance we'll be coming for this extreme low, if there's any chance we'll be coming for this extreme low, I want to see price tap into this daily supply right here. That is what I'll be looking at. And to show you the trade I was talking about, you can clearly see right here I took a, just give me a sec. I took a right here, I took a sell right here, which stopped me out. The reason why I made it this short was because so that I can remember that so that I can remember the reasons why I lost this trade. This trade was not a natural loss, it was a losing trade that I could have made money on, because as you can see I already had my buy set up, but I changed my mind. I took a sell and the buy eventually happened. So that's that about that. Why I took a buy right here, which gave us a good 1:3 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 1:3.1, and another sell right here, which gave us another 1:3.1, which eventually shows that we have two winning trades and one losing trade for the week on crude oil. Now, I've already told you what I'll be looking at. I'll just be waiting on the 4-hour time frame to see if we take out this previous level of resistance or supply, or we come for the extreme level of demand or support. So with that already said, let's go to our last data we'll be looking at, which is the data of the BTC USD. BTC USD yesterday was a little bit tricky for me. I took a buy yesterday and the buy did not play out. The buy hit me at break even. Well, better than a loss, I would say. So the buy took me for a break even. But looking at it, you can see we are still stuck within this level of supply I talked about, weekly level of supply that I'll be looking to, that I'm hoping price break so that we can eventually see a clear sign that BTC is going to continue to the upside. We are still stuck with it. Going to the daily time frame, what do we have on the daily time frame? As you can see, like I said, we are still stuck with this level of resistance or supply, and all I'm waiting for is for price to make its way back into this daily neckline, because as you can see we had this drop, we had this push to the upside, a drop, and then we had a clear shift. So we are expecting price to come back into this neckline before it continues its overall push to the upside once again. So we are hoping and looking that price will take out this high, but if price does not take out this high, we are just going to keep rolling with the price data that we have before. Also this week I'll be looking at price dropping into this area and then looking to go long from there. Now on the 4-hour time frame, let's see if we have any opportunity in our side. If you watch the previous outlook, I believe you should be making some money on this crypto on BTC USD. I've been calling BTC USD for the past couple of 2 weeks and all analysis has been lining up properly. I believe if you are following the weekly outlook, you should be making some money. I talked about this 4-hour zone, and if you look at, you can see price tapped into it very precisely, and now we've created a M pattern. Now all I'll be looking for is for price to eventually do what? Pull back into this point. So I would like to see a bearish, like something like that, into this neckline, and then we'll continue, hopefully get into this daily demand before we start getting careful for possible reversals to the upside. So basically I'll just be waiting on my hand, looking at what BTC USD does. If this 4-hour candle closes below this one and then we get a pushback here before we get into this daily demand, I will be looking to sell. So basically that's all we will be looking at on the weekly outlook. Quick one, or quick recap. On the dollar, I am very bullish on the dollar till price shows me otherwise. On the euro, I'm bearish until price prove otherwise. Although I have a setup that already showed that I've already lined up to join for the new week. On pound, I'm still bearish on pound, even though I took a loss during the week on pound, which was my only trade on the pound USD. I'll be looking to sell the pound if the pound eventually meets up all the criteria that I aligned in my analysis. On GBPCHF, I'm doing nothing. I'll just basically be waiting to see if price takes out this internal level of demand supply, or take out this extreme level of demand right here. If I get any of those two, I'm going to make my decision on what to do next. While on crude oil, I'm waiting for crude oil to also take out this level of supply, or we see, you know, price dropping to take out this level of extreme demand. While on BTC USD, I'm waiting on my hand to see a clear price pattern of price action before I make any further decision on what to do on this pair. With that already being said, I want to tell you thank you for sticking around. Do not forget to subscribe. Remember, turn on push notifications and give us a like on this video. Share it with your friends and let them benefit from the opportunities that we end up discussing in this channel week in, week out. I'll see you in the next video. Remain blessed.